The Portland Fire Bureau is struggling to meet national standards for response times. In fact, for years, the Bureau has been well below that standard.
Tonight, the Fox 12 investigators dig down into the reasons and why rank-and-file firefighters are frustrated with the way things are going. Simon Gutierrez has this story.
According to a report from the city budget office this year, response times have been down since 2012. And last year, the Bureau met the national standard less than 60% of the time. According to city records, the Fire Bureau's goal is to arrive at emergencies within 5 minutes and 20 seconds, 90% of the time. Last year, the Bureau met that time threshold just 59% of the time.
Response times is everything. So if we can't reach your house within a certain period of time with the appropriate amount of firefighters and tools, I think that jeopardizes public safety.
Isaac McLennan is a union steward and has been a firefighter for more than 20 years.
If it was my neighborhood, I would be really upset to know that my public safety is in jeopardy.
McLennan says the city's quickly growing population hasn't come with an increase in staffing at the Fire Bureau.
What we've seen is basically a slow degradation of service over the period of time.
We asked the Fire Bureau for a list of the most recent 100 fire calls. Response time was measured in seconds. 5 minutes and 20 seconds comes out to 320 seconds. Several calls were over 400 seconds, and on one call where a restaurant was damaged by a fire, it took more than 600 seconds for crews to get on scene, more than 8 minutes.
Given the resources they have, they need to maybe look at all of their costs and look at ways to use the money they have more efficiently. And the tax dollars, where are all of our tax dollars going?
James FRALICK lives in the Kenton neighborhood across the street from a home that burned in a fire, and a woman died. While crews did respond to that fire within 5 minutes, FRALICK doesn't like hearing Portland isn't meeting national standards when it comes to the average fire response.
Should that be acceptable?
Not really. Not really. They should be on par with everybody else.
McLennan says the way things are, the Fire Bureau is stretched thin, with firefighters trying to keep up with expectations and response time goals, but without adequate support and funding from the city. In the 2019-2020 budget passed by the City Council in May, the Fire Bureau took a nearly 2% cut from the previous year.
We feel like we should be growing. This is a growing economy. The city of Portland is getting bigger and bigger. The fire department should grow with it.
As part of the budget cuts, the Bureau changed staffing here at Station 23 in southeast Portland. The station used to have a shift with a 4-man crew responding with an engine. Now all 3 shifts will be 2-man crews in a rapid response vehicle. Reporting in southeast Portland, Simon Gutierrez, Fox 12 Oregon.
We reached out to the Fire Bureau for a comment about the response time report, and here's what it had to say. As noted in the report, Portland Fire and Rescue has maintained relatively stable response times despite an approximate 12% increase in calls in the years 2014 to 2019. No additional funding has been provided to expand staffing levels to this increased demand. In order to absorb this increase, PF&R has realigned its response model to reduce non-life-threatening calls by the use of rapid response vehicles to handle these and free up engine and ladder truck crews to respond to more serious calls that require a full complement of 4 firefighters.